Imagine you are standing in a place where nothing exists, a perfect vacuum. In the language of physics, this is the ground state, a quiet, frozen eternity where the temperature is absolute zero and the silence is deafening. But here's where reality breaks. If you start to accelerate through that empty void, it suddenly catches fire. To you, the observer, that nothingness becomes a warm thermal bath of radiation. You see particles where there were none. You feel heat where there was only cold. This is the Unruh Effect. It reveals a profound secret. The reality you inhabit depends entirely on how you move through it. If you stand still, the universe is empty. If you move, it comes alive. Your life is no different. Most of us spend our days drifting through a vacuum of routine, waiting for meaning to find us. But time isn't a river that flows over you. It is a landscape you are accelerating through. And the tragedy is, most of us have no idea how to make our reality glow before the fuel runs out. Here is the raw math of your existence. The average person lives for about 30,000 days. That's it. That is your entire inventory of nows. If you are 30 years old today, you've already burned through 11,000 of them. They are gone, discarded like used tickets. We treat time as an abstraction, a number on a phone. But it wasn't always so invisible. Meet Ruth Belville, the Greenwich Time Lady. Every Monday from the late 1800s until 1940, Ruth would journey to the Royal Observatory. She would synchronize her pocket watch, a precision chronometer she nicknamed Arnold, to the standard clock of the Empire. Then, she would walk through the streets of London, selling the correct time to banks and clockmakers. In Ruth's world, time was a physical commodity. You had to pay to see it. You had to wait for a human being to carry it to your door. But today, because time is everywhere, it has become worthless to us. We've traded the Arnold in our handbags for the someday in our heads. And someday is the most dangerous word in the human vocabulary. It's the illusion that our 30,000 days are actually 30,000 years. Why does a single summer feel like an eternity when you're 8, but an entire year feels like a month when you're 40? This is the time unit paradox. Neuroscientist David Eagleman discovered that our brains don't measure time with internal clocks but with memory density. To a child, every experience is a first. The brain is recording every detail in high definition to build its model of the world. In retrospect, when you look back at that dense data, the time feels expanded. As an adult, you fall into time blindness. Your brain is an efficiency machine. It knows what your commute looks like. It knows what your coffee tastes like. So it stops recording. When you look back at a year of routine, your brain finds no new footage. It concludes that nothing happened, and the year vanishes. This blindness extends to our internal world too. We lose days to anger, anxiety, and resentment, unaware that emotions have a biological expiration date. Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor notes that the chemical surge of an emotion, the adrenaline, the cortisol, lasts exactly 90 seconds. After 90 seconds, the chemicals are flushed from your blood. If you are still angry after 10 minutes or 10 hours, it's because you are choosing to stay in the loop. You are re-triggering your brain by retelling the story. You are spending your 30,000 day currency on a psychological replay button. To break the cycle, you must become ruthlessly selective. Successful people understand that knowing what not to do is more valuable than knowing what to do. They use the two-list strategy. Write down 20 goals, circle the top 3, and treat the other 17 as your avoid-at-all-costs list. They are the primary distractions stealing your energy. Because energy, not time, is your real resource. Willpower is a muscle that tires. If you waste your prefrontal cortex energy on deciding what to wear or arguing over 90-second chemicals, you'll have nothing left to build the life you actually want. But let's zoom out. What if I told you that your feeling of moving through time is actually the greatest illusion of all? According to Einstein's block universe theory, the past is not gone and the future is not yet to happen. They both exist simultaneously as geometric coordinates in a four-dimensional block of space-time. Your birth, your first kiss, and your final breath are all permanently etched into the fabric of the cosmos. If everything is fixed, why is change so hard? Because of a cognitive glitch called the end-of-history illusion. Research on 19,000 people showed that at every age, we recognize how much we've changed in the past, but we mistakenly believe we will stay exactly as we are today for the rest of our lives. We think we are the finished product. This is why you don't start that business, why you stay in that relationship. You don't believe another you is even possible. To defeat this, you need to understand the adjacent possible. Evolution doesn't jump from a single cell to a human brain. It opens the door that is right next to it. You don't need a grand plan for the next 10,000 days. You just need to find the adjacent room. A 5-minute habit, a conversation with a stranger, a new skill. Every time you open one door, the universe creates new possibilities that didn't exist a moment ago. You aren't finding your life. You are literally opening it into existence. In ancient Rome, during the peak of a general's triumph, a slave was tasked to stand behind him and whisper, "Memento mori." Look behind you. Remember you are only a man. Remember that you will die. This wasn't meant to be morbid. It was meant to be a clarity tool. Because when you accept that your days are numbered, the trivial things, the social media noise, the 90-second petty arguments, the lifestyle inflation treadmill, they all lose their power over you. Don't wait for the deathbed test to realize what matters. Remember the Unruh Effect. Your reality only glows when you move. So, which adjacent door are you opening today? Because the clock is ticking, and Ruth Belville isn't coming back to give you more time. I'm Nafmaz. Thanks for spending a few of your 30,000 days with me. If this video helped you see the architecture of your time a little more clearly, subscribe. Let's explore the next room together.